it again. This is Voices of the People, y'all. Don't let them tell you what's real. What you know ain't real. Let your voice be heard, let your voice be heard. All I need is one mic, one beat, and one stage. One time for me to shine.
You know, I started skateboarding when I was 11 years old, and I retired from skateboarding professionally when I was 30. During the 80s, we had a skateboard ministry where we did anti-drug shows at junior high and high schools. The fact that we were able to go in there and do a skateboard show and have an effect on those kids' lives, and not only that, but the parents' lives, because once they saw their kids turn around, it was pretty awesome to see the lives of the parents change also. That's pretty powerful. I was traveling about 3 weeks out of a month. That was a lot of traveling. And when my wife became pregnant with my son almost 16 years ago, I decided that I was traveling too much. From the skateboard ministry to the carpet cleaning industry, that is very, very hard work. I figured it out. I think it was 2,000 lunges that I would do per job, and I would do anywhere from about 8 to 15 jobs a day.
You weren't afraid of hard work.
No, I was able to do anything it took to feed my family and keep food on our table, so to say. One of the things that I loved during the 80s was being involved in the ministry and the impact that we were able to have in other people's lives. And I can honestly say for the last 15 years, I've been praying for something like this. I didn't know what kind of form that was going to be in, but the fact that it was in a business, actually, this is more of a ministry than anything we've ever done in our lives.
Right. Well, because with that corporation that we ran for 16 years, we knew that being an entrepreneur that we always had big dreams and big vision. However, we went back to trading time for money, and because of that, doing very well financially, but feeling very absent from what our calling was before when we were in the skateboard ministry, not feeling fulfilled spiritually.
We were looking for, another type of business, and even though we were successful in the carpet cleaning business, Paul Barrios actually got a hold of us and gave us 2 bottles of the Monavie, and after drinking it, I got very excited, and we dove into the business without looking back.
So when Monavie came into our lives, we saw it as a business venture originally, and seeing us having an answer or a vehicle for the time freedom that we knew Monavie could provide for our family, but had no idea that it was going to evolve into this.
I can say that I've always been into board sports, and I retired from skateboarding professionally when I was 30. I think 4 or 5 years later, I found wakeboarding, and man, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the fact that I could do it, and be a little bit older, and if I hit the water, so what? The water's a lot more forgiving than the pavement. It's kind of like snowboarding on the water, I guess you could say. We work our Monavie business really hard, and then we like to take Thursdays off and go out to beautiful Lake Elsinore. It's nice and green, like pea soup, I guess you could say. I love it. I think it's beautiful out there, so we'll be going out there today to do some wakeboarding.
Yo, I hear the voices of the people from deep within. Yo, they say it's man amongst evil. Living every day, there ain't no untold story. Got newscasts live on your TV sets with live recordings. Everything I see is politic gimmicks on the scene. We're having no brotherhood that could withstand anything. We living in a world where homies ain't afraid to pull the trigger. Got parents raising thugs, pimps, and even cold killers. Times have changed, but in my eyes it's all the same. Stuck at the crossroads, can't get past lanes. Yet I'm still sending prayers out in his name in search of a better tomorrow, a better today. Yo, they senseless. They all simple-minded. It's that propaganda man that be leaving us blinded. See, I speak for the children, speak for the boys and girls, speak for my people. Yo, I speak for this world. Come on.
Pick, choose, win, lose. Who got the answer? Who got the clues? I got the scars and you got the bruise. People got a voice that the people must use. Pick, choose, win, lose. Who got the answer? Who got the clues?
That's how we do it out here at Lake Elsinore, beautiful sunny California. Usually Mondays I go skateboarding, Thursdays I go wakeboarding, and then on Wednesdays I have what's called Wifey Day. And some of the guys try to make fun of me about it, but I'm going to tell you something. To get your toenails and your fingernails done so you don't have a bunch of, funk in there, so your wife actually, it's attractive to your wife.
We take that time just to shut down and kind of reconnect. It's exciting because we do stop and pay attention to things that are important not only to each other, but to ourselves because it's very relaxing. And then it kind of brings us into a place where it's kind of solitude and quiet, and we really reflect and we kind of talk about the next week and have a special day.
You knew that silence was the loudest of words. Not so golden after all of the words that were heard. Yeah, and Lord, you will always be my father, cause I didn't know mine, but you were like no other. I never really had one that got to be one, but to me, you were always second to none.
This is what being a Montevideo distributor is all about, treatment.
It's all thanks to you that in my life I can't surpass.
I used to clean carpets, but now I get massages.
Cause I know it is my heart that really matters in the end.
You can take every part of me. You can take everything I need. Even if the price is big. You can take every part of me. You can take every part of me. You can take everything I need. Even if the price is big. You can take every part of me.
I'm tugged out, but I know you're still with me. You're the one that provides me strength, cause you're the power within me. You've been there from the beginning and we'll be there to the end. You made me you and took me through to my place of resting as I reflect on everything you've done for me and everything you have provided for my family.
One of the things that Paul Barrios told me in the very beginning was this personal development's going to come before the fortune. And after you get to where you can, to where you got the fortune and you're making the money that you're making as a Black Diamond, you can afford to give the money away because of who you became in the process. I'm a true believer that wealth is, first of all, relational, and it's emotional, and then physical, and then spiritual, and then financial last. And when you're able to make those impressions in people's lives, that can be really, really powerful.
After a while, it's really not about the money. It's about what God's call is on your life. So we're feeling very complete in Montevideo, not only financially and time freedom, but I would say that for spiritual reasons, for our emotional reasons, as we've gotten older and our journey has evolved to this, that we really do believe that we've found our place. You do a little bit of what you got to do for a short while so you can do a lot of what you want to do for a long while. Our dreams have just begun.